Welcome to Books with Brenda, Episode 4. We're going to switch it up to highlight new books with two new ones. It's Not All Downhill from Here and A Star is Bored, as well as an older gem, Cat Tales for Mariette. We're going to be looking at some new and older books today in Episode 4. Terry McMillan's book, It's Not All Downhill from Here, is a new release. She is the same author who wrote Waiting to Exhale that I love from years ago. She examines the complex lives of women as they age and are asked to pitch in babysitting for grandkids while simultaneously caring for elderly parents. Laretha, who has strong opinions, has a circle of girlfriends who gather together regularly. You know they care about each other deeply, but don't always say it out loud. There is competition and jealousy as Laretha and her friends struggle with sickness, depression, and even death. The laughter is mingled in the serious bits. But Terry McMillan's compassionate voice shines through in her characters. It's Not All Downhill from Here is ultimately a hopeful, family-friendly read. A Star is Bored is a funny, poignant, and tender look at a Hollywood assistant and his famous boss. The title is tongue-in-cheek, Born or Bored, while Kathy Cannon is bored or jaded, as her last big role was Priestess Talera in a huge science fiction movie. The author says his debut novel is a purely made-up story, but he had worked as an assistant to the late Carrie Fisher of Star Wars fame. One can't help but think about the strong similarities with the real Carrie Fisher. The dynamic between the assistant Charlie and Kathy is characterized as friendly, sparring with one-liners, ranging to unhealthy and enabling. The dark side of the responsibilities of acting as an assistant to a troubled person is also examined. Kathy becomes more than a boss as Charlie is faced with making choices to be on the sidelines or open up and pursue his dreams. Cat Tales for Mariette. Both the topic and the pace remind me a lot of Tuesdays with Maury, which was a series of conversations before a friend dies. Admittedly, the narrator, Michael, hates Christmas, but befriends Mariette, who doesn't have long to live. She doesn't have regrets, but she missed her chance to have a pet cat. Under the shade of a baobab tree, Michael shares his experiences living with cats as they drink tea. There was that time he was moving and rehomed his cats, Willow and Maya, with his brother, who had active, huge dogs. I brought my best friends to a place that, for them, could only be cat hell. That's a quote from the book. By the way, his foreboding that he had made a tragic mistake was confirmed when both cats ran away from the dogs that were just intolerable. Cats have an unintended and positive effect in Michael's life. There's another story too. A stray, almost arrogant cat wanders into a university hall, stealing attention away from the lecturer. He settles in on the stage, apparently listening. But then he makes a circuit, choosing to sit at Michael's feet for the duration. After the incident, random people say hello to Michael, and he feels more sociable, coming out of his shell. Cats have an unintended effect on Michael's life, as he reflects that it made him instantly likable on campus and perhaps nudged him into a more extroverted version of himself. All the sharing and stories give Mariette a boost as she looks into a life well lived with pet cats. Cat Tales for Mariette is uplifting and pensive. It would be a great read to pair with some tea or maybe a cat at your feet. Thanks for watching Books with Brenda. I'd like to remind you that the new books were It's Not All Downhill From Here from Random House and A Star is Bored from publisher Henry Holt. As well, you can order these two books and the last one from the Parkland Regional Library website. Thank you. Until next time.